30%. Ben King.
He's closed the gap to Ben King, so Ben King has been neutralised. Alberto Contador very shortly will move into the lead of this stage as the riders are weaving around the road, and they need all the room they can get, so let's hope the spectators give them the room they need. Geschke has gone for a slightly different oscillating pattern up this hill, as three riders are still pretty much joined. There's very little between them, but Geschke just started to lose that tiny bit of daylight between himself and Alberto Contador. Moves just a few bike lengths ahead as Geschke moves around Ben King. Ben King's valiant effort comes to naught, but a great effort nonetheless. And let's hope these spectators don't get involved in giving riders pushes either. Whatever about giving the guys in the bus a bit of a push, well, that's okay. I don't feel too bad about that, but
say won't do it to these leaders. No, that will definitely be frowned upon. But look at Geschke, though. Geschke is riding the race of his life today, using all of the road, tacking across, whereas Contador is taking a more direct route. Obviously, that way, though, it's a little bit harder, but he's dancing on the pedals, sat backward. Of course, it's very difficult to get the weight right on a bike on a gradient that's this steep. If you sit too far back, the front wheel comes off the ground, so very, very tough indeed. But
yeah, I mean, it is difficult to ride a gradient this steep, isn't it? As we see the big group behind finally arrive on the hill.
I did see Peter Sagan there.
Very impressive from Sagan in the red jersey of points leader. Sagan tailed off significantly yesterday, and it looks as if the 5 riders up front, the reason they weren't doing much is because, well, they realized that there was a group coming from behind. The question is, where is Kwiatkowski? Well, he's pretty much out of contention, dropped by that big group that has joined up with the 5 riders chasing Alberto Contador and Geschke. We're chasing inside the final kilometre now of this 5th stage of Tirreno-Adriatico, and it's going to be a longer final kilometre than we're used to seeing. And I tell you what, I think Geschke could well be closing up. I think he could well be getting back to Alberto Contador. Has Alberto Contador shot his bolt? Is there still more drama left in this stage? Chris Horner moves past the camera in contention, but these riders are still on the lower slopes of this wall. And Geschke's back to Alberto Contador, and that is a fighting performance indeed from the 28-year-old German.
Fantastic ride by Geschke there. The gradient now actually kicks up even worse. This is where on this bend it gets up to a ridiculous 30%, so 1 in 3. Contador wants the stage win, though. He's looked over, he's sensed the danger, and he's got more power. He's accelerated away from Geschke. An impressive display of power. He wants the overall and he wants the win.
There goes Contador for the win through the tunnel, and he's opened up that gap. There's no way anyone's going to take this away from Alberto Contador. Wonderful resistance from Simon Geschke, but surely that's enough for Alberto Contador to open the gap that he needs to take this victory, and indeed to also open up a further daylight between himself and the other general classification contenders. He's got 500 metres of this flat road into a tiny little bit of descent as we see Ben King dying his way up the hill. Will he manage to hang on in front of the chasers behind? It's going to be a big ask. Well, he's got a little bit of relief coming very shortly. Alberto Contador piling on the pressure. The last little bit is a very, very short ramp up at sort of 9 to 12%. Steep, but nothing like this, as Adam Hansen too desperately tries to hang on for a decent result after spending the whole day in the break. Looks like he could well get a good result in a World Tour stage race. And excellent performance from the 32-year-old. Geschke still chasing behind, though, so Alberto Contador has no time to relax here. He's got to push all the way to the line if he's going to get this stage win and the 10 seconds advantage. And this is a tight little hairpin. Plenty of opportunity to get things wrong, especially if there are other riders around you. Inside the final 250 metres for Simon Geschke. Inside the final 150 metres for Alberto Contador as he steals a look over his shoulder. But it's going to be 2 stage wins in succession for the man from Tinkoff Saxo. The Spaniard races into the blue jersey of overall leader of Tirreno-Adriatico for 2014. No one can deny Alberto Contador. It's been an absolutely peerless performance after launching himself off the front on the penultimate climb. Raced up the hill, raced down the hill, raced in the valley, and powers up this final wall to take a wonderful success. His second in succession. Alberto Contador is the winner of stage 5 of Tirreno-Adriatico. Simon Geschke gets a fabulous second place finish.